We're going to look at the SchoolTool Parent Portal. To access the SchoolTool Parent Portal, you're going to want to go to the Groton Central School District website, grotoncs.org, and then once you're there, you'll want to go down to the SchoolTool icon. You click on that and it will open up a new tab, and then here you will enter in your email that you provide the school as your contact information. You will then enter in the password. If this is your first time, it is bracket, %, password with a capital P, %, bracket, and then you'll hit login.
You'll be prompted to make a new password, and the only requirement for that is that it is at least 8 characters long.
If you forgot your password, you can just type in your email account that you would have given to the school as your contact information and hit login, and then it will prompt you to get a new user or forgot password. You'll click on that, and then you will type in your email that you provided the school, and it will send you a temporary password so that you can change that and get back into the system. So here's mine, and then you have a password. So I'm going to log in. And then this is a fake account with the student Kind of Friendly. And if you would like to see more information about Kind of Friendly and the contact information for home, you can click on this arrow right here. And once you click on the arrow, typically there'd be a picture of your child and then their first name, their last name, and then general information about them. It will also have the contacts. So it'll have parents or guardians information right here, and also if you have an emergency contact, it will also have this information here. It will also contain siblings if there are siblings in the household. And then from there, you'll see that there are a number of tabs that you can look at. So there's contacts, schedule, attendance, discipline, grades, assessments, assignments, and letters. And we'll look at each of those in a second. The icons that you see next to the names, so this is an email contact, so you can click that to send an email. You'll see that in a number of places in SchoolTool. And then it has, this is where the child lives. This signifies that that this adult receives mail, that they can pick up the child, and when they last logged into the parent portal. Because this is a fake account, there's very limited information in these tabs. So what I'm going to be doing is actually looking at, we're going to actually be looking at a different fake account that was created by the maker of this software, and we'll look at some of the information there. This is what the schedule tab would look like. You'll notice that there's the periods of the day, there's the course name, so Spanish, what days it may occur on if you have a schedule like that, the room number, and then the teacher. And remember how I said that there was going to be that email button? So if you would like to directly email a teacher, you can click on this and it will open up your email. Now, if you're on a Windows computer, it will often try to open up Outlook, which doesn't always work on computers. So just be aware that you might run into that problem. But this way you can get a sense of your child's schedule and what their day-to-day looks like. Now we're going to look at the attendance schedule. Again, this one's going to be blank because because this is a fake account. But you can look at different school years. So depending on how long your child's been in school, you'll have a number of years, and you can see the type of absence there was, the date, and the reasoning. Now we'll look at a different example. And here's an example where maybe it was absent or early dismissal, gives the date, and if it's a dismissal, early time, and then the reason could be illness. Pretty straightforward. Next, we're going to look at the discipline tab. This is the discipline tab. Again, you can change the years, and then you can look at the grade, the date that it was taken care of, the incident, what the offense was. In this case, it was a child skipped class, and then what the disposition or the consequence was, which in this case was lunch detention. Sometimes also these purple arrows usually means that there's more information that you can drill into. So if you click on that, it will oftentimes give you a little bit more information. Next, we have the Grades tab. Again, typically you would have a number of years, and then you would have the different types of grades. So marking period grades, progress report grades, marking period average, assessment grades, and final grades, and then also for which quarter. So you have a number of radials, so you can pick like which year, what type of grade, and for what section of the year you want. Here's what the Grades tab could look like. You would have the course, you would have the teacher, and again, you can email that teacher, the marking periods, the day, and then the grade. In this example, there is no grade, but you would have a numerical grade, and then the comments. So maybe averages in the A range, and then whatever comments that you typically were associated with the report card is also put here in this Grades tab. Here is the Assessments tab, again, blank, and we'll look at what it could look like. Now, when they talk about the assessments, it's important to realize that typically it's the state tests, so the New York State 3 through 8 assessment scores. So it's going to give you the school year, the assessment, whether it was the math or the ELA, the performance level, which is 1, 2, 3, or 4, 4 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and then it will give you the raw score and the scale score, which are often hard to understand, but you can check with your principal, teacher, or guidance counselor to get a bit more information about these two different scores. But 4 being the highest and 1 being the lowest is the general way that you can see how your child did on that New York State assessment. Lastly, we have the Assignments tab. Again, school year, marking period, and which course. You can look at to see which different courses are, and we will look into see what that could look like. So here we have a fake account where a student was taking studio and art, and then here was the assignment name, so maybe ancient art quiz. It was the assignment was created on July 24th, 2013. The max score was 100, and then it would have your student's score. Typically, if there's a 0, that often means that they did not hand it in, or if it's blank, that means they didn't hand it in or it's not due yet. And then we'll also have the teacher's name. You can drill down to specific courses, or you can look at all of them at once. The last few things you should probably be aware of with SchoolTool is at the top you also have Campus, which typically just shows you, the general picture of the school logo. You have Account, which allows you to change your password and to see how often you've logged in. And lastly, Messages is often if the school produces a message, a mass message, it can sometimes come here. Usually the messages have to do with SchoolTool, like an improvement that's being made to it or such. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and that you can now use Parent Portal to see how your child is doing in school. Thank you.